Hello, this is the ninth part of optical tracking inside the MotionBuilder, and in that part I would like to show how to export these trackable markers into the original MotionBuilder optical markers. And we will start with the first problem that I have found on the hips trackable rigid body, is that when I was starting this tracking I didn't set up the snap-on frames, and that's why if we have a look in the trajectory we will see that there is an offset, like keyframe is not aligned to the integer value. And this problem will appear when we try to export and we have the flag to calculate a collision according to the keyframe time. And all the markers of our hips will be recognized as always occluded, because it will not find the keyframe time and specific keyframe on the time when it will go through each frame. So we need to align the markers, and what we can do is to select the hips, then using the in markers folder we have a button to select markers, then all translation trajectories, all channels, we go to filter, keys on frame, and preview. So now we have aligned keyframes to our integer value, and that's what gives us a possibility to export in clean way to optical data. So now we go to our model actor, and in markers folder we have the export button. We press this button and we start the process for converting the trackable information into the original MotionBuilder optical data. And all markers which don't have keyframe in specific frame, they will recognize and convert it into the occluded optical marker. So that's you should know about that. The translation and X value of translation is the key parameter which is used for this exportation. So after this exportation we have the optical destination, the original optical data. So now we don't need anymore the optical data. So we have this actor, and there was a flag for export and snap actor, so it's automatically snapped. If you don't need this, you can turn off this flag before pressing the export button. But now we have this T-pose, and we have this animation. And what we need to do is to assign in our new optical data, assign the rigid bodies in the same manner as it was in trackables. Alright, I've finished this process, and now we have the actor with assigned rigid bodies, and we can see what is missing in each frame. Like we have probably the needed pose. There is some problems, and as you remember during the tracking there was a moment with this one twisting, swapping markers, and we will fix that in classical way, how we clean up the optical data probably. But we have this take tracked and exported into the original format. There is some problem with the lag, so I think that some markers are swapped during the reassignment, and we need to check that. So for example, this is the upper body in front of knee, and now we can see that here is the marker on back. So we need to swap these markers to have the same result, and this one should be here. Okay, so let's swap markers to have the correct result for the lag, because during the tray cable assignment maybe I have rotated in not in the correct way the tray cable body, rigid body, and that's why we need to now select insert whole segment, I mean the all segment of the timeline, but we will not need this one to swap here, but maybe here we can rotate later. We mostly need this element here, or we can swap only from the cursor to end. So like we go to some point when everything just started, and let's try to swap the markers, for example with this one, right, to see if it's correct or not. No, it's still not correct. This one should be on back. Okay, let's do one more time. A swap with the front. Right. I think now it's correct. Okay, now the marker is correct. We swap the trajectories from marker to marker, and that's probably the good thing that we do. And here we have this kind of rotation of feet. Yeah, that's probably from the motion. So that's good and correct. Okay, so now the rest thing is to do the classical way cleanup for this optical data.